Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placement. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Scorpio, for today is number 23. And it says, broken dreams. Further, it says, only you can accept or reject your dreams. Okay, so if you look at the picture, it's a little bit of a, dark energy, a little bit gray energy. There is an egg which has cracked, there is a glass which has cracked, and there is a little bit of sadness out here. I would not deny it, but let's take a look at what this is. Here on it says, only you can accept or reject your dreams. So I feel that if you feel, this might be a temporary setback, I feel, Scorpio. And I feel that you can transmute these energies. If this is in regards to some resources that you are hoping on, and that's not available, then you can choose to use some other resources, find alternates. If this is something about, at work, whether maybe you want to get a promotion, or maybe you wanted to get another job and you did not get it, it's okay. It's not the last company on earth. You can always send out applications. Maybe some position will open there in a few months' time, which we're obviously not able to see right now. So I feel that if this is in regards to something at work or even in your own business, it's something did not work out, if a deal did not go through, then there's always alternates. In today's times, we can always work things, find workarounds, or look for alternate things, or, choose another company temporarily, things like that. We can always work things in the interim, join another company, and at the same time, keep applying to the company of your choice. And when another position opens, you can apply there again, or you can send referrals, or maybe that position is not really good for you, and that's why you were not chosen. Sometimes things get clearer when we look back and we understand why there was a setback, why things do not work out, because there is a higher purpose. There is a better reason for us. It's like if things work out according to you, great. If it does not work out according to your will, even better, because it's working according to divine will, which is unparalleled, which is unmatchable, right? So if something's not working out, I think that we can just shift our mindset, shift our perspective to either find alternate ways or careers or paths. And if nothing is, still available, it's okay to pursue whatever you are doing. And later on, wait a few more days, a week, a few more weeks, maybe something better than this will open up. Maybe something really good is waiting for us and we don't see it as yet. So I think patience is called for at this point in time. Sometimes when we have those immediate setbacks, we do feel a little bit of a dent in the road. But I feel that it's just, a shift in the mindset that will change everything for you. So now, if there was something in regards to your investments which did not pay off, that is something, another call for you to be more cautious with your investments, because when it's regarding to market conditions, nobody can predict that. And this goes for across the board, across the globe. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't work out. I mean, this is how things work in life, right? I mean, nothing can control the market, nothing can control investments, how they work out sometimes. We can't even imagine some small investment pay off really big in a big way, and sometimes bigger investments don't pay off. So it's just about doing a due diligence, taking calculated risks, doing your own research, and investing only so much that will not burn a hole in your bank account. So we have to be more mindful with our investments. So I do feel that, this energy, while it feels a little harder to deal with, but it's just that it's here for us to to grow us. I think this is for your personal growth. So whatever has not worked, I feel that this is something that you can work on if it's in regards to, um, you know, some personal plans. You know, if it's like travel that you had wanted to go, or a vacation that got canceled, or maybe your travel plans changed or something like that. Those things, yeah, there is a temporary setback. But then, you know, we can always travel in a few days, in a few weeks when the time is right. So, you know, things, yes, because broken dreams, I feel this is something you had planned for, something that you were working towards, something that you had dreamt about, and maybe it's not going exactly the way that you had envisioned, but then you know, we have to be very realistic with our thoughts as well. Like, yeah, dreams, you know, when it comes to dreams, they're not realistic, you know. It's just that we have to just work with the ground realities, work with practicalities, and, you know, we have to account for things because the world is imperfect. So things happen, things changed, you know, in the blink of an eye. You know, when pandemic hit, it took just like a few hours for the world to shut down. So, you know, we can only go so far as, you know, what is, or what we can see, you know, with our limited perception, with our limited mind, because there's so many other factors that's playing out in the world that we cannot even fathom. So the only thing that we can do in such a situation is to regroup our thoughts, to not feel shattered by this experience. Just meditate for a bit, you know, take, you know, deep breaths, and calm yourself down, you know, go out there, you know, go do something that floats your boat. Like maybe if you like to read, go read, listen to music, go for a walk, you know, go take a shower or listen to some nice music, watch a nice movie, whatever, you know, it takes to shift this energy. And then, you know, you can come back, try again, or, you know, wait for things to shift up in a few days, a few weeks, a few months, and retry again. You know, Scorpio, you're the fixed water sign. So if you spend some time by the water bodies, it will help you, you know, release this, what do you call this negative experience or this negative sentiment. And I would say, you know, look at the world. You know, there's so much that's going on a daily basis. You know, and people, you know, they try to find another way. They try to be patient with the process, and then you can, you know, you can come back to this, or you can find other ways. And there are so many, you know, healing modalities available today that can help you to transmute these energies. You know, if you have seen Inception, there was a really super duper hit movie, Don Coven, that he explores dream reconstruction in that movie. So, you know, the broken glass over here just reminds me of reconstructing something. So, you know, that might be, you know, you might be earn a thing or two from that movie. Check it out if you're interested. Also, Dream On is a beautiful song that comes to mind by Aerosmith, you know. Don't stop dreaming. Just because something did not work out, it's okay, you know. So many people, you know, I look at startups, like so many people start a startup, they invest into that, they put their heart and soul for a few months, and it doesn't work out, but that doesn't stop them from dreaming further, maybe another dream, maybe another startup, another gig, another way, and things like that. Now, some of you might be working in rebuilding orgs. You know, there's a lot of organizations that help in rebuilding communities, help in companies, combats, and things like that. So some of you might be working in those areas as well. For some of you, this might be, I would say, some of you might be seeing that, you know, what do you call those sites, those land, the properties, the older properties, you know, like 100 year older, even beyond. you might find some, communities around you or some areas or land around you that have these broken properties, and you will see that people are now, turning them into newer age communities. So some of you might be seeing or they might be just taking up all the property which are not so old, but they have been neglected and ignored. And then they are fixing it, fixer-uppers, and flipping those properties, with modern day amenities. So some of you might be seeing that happen around you as well. Now, some of you might be in sports teams and, you're hurt or there's some kind of an injury. And then you're like, oh my God, I cannot play for this league. I cannot play for that game and this, that, and the third. So some of you might be in that situation as well. But sports people are so resilient. They know that one game out is not the end of your career. Once the injury is healed and you, go to rehabilitation and therapy and all of that, a lot of sports stars, they come back stronger than ever, Physically, they go to a lot of therapy, a lot of, a lot of help in that regard, and they come back stronger for the next team. So some of you might be in that situation as well. Or if this is in regards to some, relations or friendships or something at personal level or professional level, then, there's always ways to mend things, and to build bridges. Maybe after a few days, you can revisit it, or you can drop a text, or, maybe you will hear something from them. So things change really fast. So I feel that this energy just requires some kind of a little bit of an introspection to see where things went wrong. And I feel that, I feel that if you just look at things in a different light, that will also shift the way you feel. Because our thoughts control our emotions a lot. And the other way around too, when we're feeling negative, we have bad thoughts. But at the same time, when we shift our perception, our mindset, it also impacts our emotions. So I feel that just changing your mind, changing your mood can light things up for you. And, it's just that see what went wrong and see that how, things could have gone differently, or how you could have done things differently is something maybe that, introspection is something what's needed in this energy. That's all. The next card you have, Scorpio, is the card of Cobra. If you look at the picture, look at the hood of the Cobra. It's like, it is flared, a lot of redness here. So a lot of passion, aggression, Martian energy. And of course, Scorpios, you're ruled by Mars. So I do see Mars influence in this Cobra energy. And there's also, look at the eyes. They're looking straight away at you. It's like piercing through your eyes. I do feel that there is some kind of a change, transformation. It's a widely used word, transformation, but I do feel things are changing around you. This is some kind of, also, I feel like the caduceus, which is like the kundalini. So Cobra, I also associate with the chakra opening and awakening of kundalinis. This is also very protective energy. And, when we leave, this is, of course, a shedding of the skin, which means that leaving some part of you behind, some quality, some aspect of yourself you are leaving behind. This is also some kind of, this is also very powerful, intuitive, because, you're the fixed water sign, and, water elements are stronger intuition. So this speaks of your strong intuition that's gonna, that's not only protecting you, because I feel very much aware of your environment, and you're protecting yourself, you're guarding yourself. And this is also about doing things differently. So I do see the passion out here, because it's such a red card around your background. And I feel that you might be, I feel that, I'll say it as I feel it. I feel that there is some kind of a fear that's around you. You're fearful of something. There is some kind of, something that you're fearing, you know, maybe a hidden enemy or a hidden situation, a hidden cost, something that you're fearful about that's lurking. But it might not be a true fear, you know, because fear in itself is false evidence appearing real. So I feel that something is just an illusion for you and you're just fearing that. You're creating something in your mind and you're fearing that. You know, I do feel a lot of, something that you've been dreaming I feel that something or some of your dreams, maybe you've thought about something, which is an illusion. And that illusion is it has stored up some kind of fear in you, Scorpio, and I feel that you're feeling defensive against it. Somehow I feel that you're misinterpreting things, you're misunderstanding things, you know, maybe you're misunderstanding people, their intentions, and you're just lashing out, you're screaming, and you're angry because this is anger all over, you know, look how red the background is. So you're either lashing out at people or you're, acting in a way that's going to damage your image or damage your relation or damage the trust that you have in people and the trust that they have in you. So something is an illusion and you're acting due to a fear of that illusion is what I'm picking up. So I feel that, you know, if you meditate, take, or incorporate some spiritual practices, there is a cobra pose which is available in meditation in yoga. Try that so that you're able to, get more insights, connect more with yourself and see that are those things that stories that you're making up in your mind, what you're thinking, what you're imagining, is that for real? Did I feel that you're afraid of something which is not even existing, something unreal? I feel that if you continue in this energy, you will burn yourself out because this is a very intense energy. But the thing is that, because this is like, a very fiery card, I feel mixed with your watery intuition and ethos energy or ethos energy. Scorpio, that's the collective ethos energy. So I feel that when you couple that with your deep waters, this fire can actually, what happens when fire meets water? It just blows off steam. So I think either you need to blow off steam or it also changes the state of water. It turns it into steam. So I feel there is something that needs to or that will change in your emotional landscape as well. This fire will shift your emotions in some way. There will be a change which is deep in your emotions. But I feel that, this process of doing this might be really intense. So be mindful of how you handle the situation. I would say that, you might end up doing things that you might regret later. You might end up saying things that you might regret later. Because when we're in this energy, we're in a very survival mode. We're on high alert. We're watching everybody with the suspicion. And we get into a survival mode. And when we're in a survival mode, we're not really in the present moment. We're not really enjoying. We're not really thinking correctly. Yeah, try to shift up this energy. Try to channel this energy, this power, this passion, for evolution, not for anything negative, for your own changes, to better your own self. I had read in in the last reading, not in the last one, or maybe 2 readings back, I can't remember which sign that was. I think it was maybe Virgo, or maybe it was, I don't know what sign that was. It came out that we can only change ourselves. We cannot change other people. So if this is in regards to other people that's causing this stir up, then just know that there's only so much you can do to change other people, So we have to change, adapt our own selves. We have to rise. We have to take the high road. Now, I'm getting the Black Panther movie, in regards to this Cobra energy. So watch that movie. I think you'll pick up a thing or two from that. And of course, Eye of the Tiger is something, it's a tiger, but here we're talking of cobras, but the essence is the same, it's like, it's a resilient energy, both for the cobra as well as for in that song Eye of the Tiger. So listen to that if you're interested. But I feel that this is some kind of a revival because that's what cobra stood for in the olden times. Cobra energy is all about reviving things, of revivals. And even, a lot of snake, their poison or their venom, as they say, is also being studied for medicinal purposes, for revival things, with revival of health. So I feel that, when we say cobra means shedding skin, it is just to empower yourself. It's just to take the high road. It's just to, evolve. Now, some of you might actually be working with snakes or cobras or some kind, or you're studying something, or you're working with snakes or in environmental environments and setups and things like that, where you have to, maybe you're working with conservation agencies in regards to snakes and cobra. I know there is a herpetologist that I've heard of, Romulus Whittaker. So for those of you who have heard about him, he's taking preservation of cobras to the next level. So some of you might be in organizations, similar organizations. Now, speaking of cobra and how it strikes, I feel that this can also be, a lot of sports energy coming through in your reads, Scorpio. It's like, how the sports people, they are very resilient. Like I just mentioned, they go through injuries, then they, go through therapies and things like that, and they bounce back. They come out stronger, with therapy, with breaks, with rest, with news, with renewed energy and things like that. So this could be one of those moments for you, because we had the dream shatter energy right before this. So I feel that, maybe you are I feel that maybe you're trying to navigate, maybe there's a difficult situation at work. And I feel that this energy is encouraging you, Scorpios, if there is a tension, which I feel there is, it's encouraging you to transform that situation into a calm and peaceful and I would say harmonize with that, create harmony in that situation, like resolve the situation, try to resolve it rather than escalate it and flare up. I feel it's better that you resolve the situation because things might get worse. It's very important to protect our own selves, our values, our energies, our time, and all of that is absolutely right. But I feel that deflecting tension is going to benefit you more than anything else. Because I do feel that, your senses are heightened right now, specifically, your intuitive nudges. They're really strong right now, and that will keep you more guarded on the inside. You might even be like really guarded when you're talking to people. Nevertheless, this cobra energy is very magnetic. So I feel that you might be on a high guard, but you're still having good, fun interactions with people. It's just that you're trying to protect your time, energy, your ideas, and things like that. So on the inside, you're very protective and guarded, but on the outside, you will come across as, normal. So this more, I feel like it's an internal energy that's brewing up inside of you. Next, Scorpio, you have is the Wheel of Fortune. It's in the reverse for you. If you see the picture, it's a very performative, like, looks like somebody's in a, performance, something like gymnastics or something like theater. Could be sports, they're all in a very, they're in a uniform, performative uniform. Could be you're into hula loops or, sports activities or something like that. Or maybe, I don't know, it could be some kind of a specialized craft that you're working with. So I do pick up a lot of performative and sports or, event kind of a vibe with this picture. I feel that, this is of course a major arcana. I don't feel it for sure is a major arcana, and it's, Jupiterian energy. Now, Jupiter is all about growth and expansion. So you might feel that, things are not growing or expanding according to your dreams and visions. That's why there are broken dreams. Like, oh, I thought this would play out this way. I did this, and I thought it would play out that way. And that's okay because, like I said, as either sometimes we, market conditions, external environment shifts fast and things happen, and there are delays. There are delays, like maybe you're waiting for a shipment and that's getting delayed. Maybe you're waiting for some package and that's gotten delayed, and that's kind of pushing back something a few days. Maybe you order dresses and it's not coming on time, so whatever this be, delays is a part of our everyday battle, I would say. It's something which is inevitable. It's not something on us, nothing that we did wrong. Things just happen in the external world. So whatever this is happening, if this is a delay in your company, in the project, or approvals, things take time and we need to just account for this. This is how the world works. So I just say that in this energy, if you feel things are getting delayed, it's okay, you can do something else while you're waiting for a package to come or dresses to be ready or approval from somewhere. So we can always do something and not just pause our life waiting for a package or things like that, waiting for things to happen. So just let things continue, do your thing, and whenever it's meant to be, it will be. Or if in 2-3 days it's not happening, then you can cancel orders or take another vendor or do something else. You can find alternates. So I do feel that there is some kind of a reality which is, that you thought in your mind is a little bit hazy now. Maybe you saw something but differently and it turned out differently. Maybe you purchase me, and this happens all the time, especially for online shopping. It appears different and what comes is a completely different reality. So this might be for some of you where you ordered something and when it came, it wasn't up to the mark. And this happens on a daily basis. There are changes, that happen. And sometimes we, how are we supposed to know what the product is like? How are we supposed to know? Like, for example, if you're a presenter, like looks like on this card, you might be into some kind of a presenter. It's in the upside down. So can you predict that the mic would fail? Can you predict that the power would just go off? Or can you predict there would be a short circuit? Can you predict that somebody would, some performer might fall ill that day? Can you predict all those things? No, things happen all the time. Like I've seen major concerts get canceled because of so many myriad of reasons. I've seen big major celebrity concerts, performers cancel their shows and tickets get refunded. It happens a lot of times. So something that they did not predict happened. Projects, like I said, a lot of startups, they just fail. A lot of times. It's not that the idea was bad. It was not that they didn't get the funds. It wasn't that they did not work hard for it. It wasn't that they didn't have the resources. Everything was there. It was just that market changed, the demand for it changed, or some situation changed. Maybe inflation grew and there's less profit margin. It doesn't make sense to release a product, or the consumer tastes have changed. They don't want it anymore. We cannot control consumer tastes, what they feel, what they want at that given point in time, or in that era, or that generation wants. Things just flip, they change, how can you break the weather? It says, 20% rain. It might be 50%. You can't control that. It says floods, but how much damage would the flood do? How can we predict? So these are things that we just have to work with and not hold on to the failure. It's just that, just move on. Because if you keep holding on to that, if you keep clinging on to that, even though, sometimes you don't even see the signs that, things might change, but they change, or there is some kind of a rally that entire street is blocked and now we cannot, reach someplace on time. How are you supposed to predict the traffic? How it'll show up and things like that? So these are everyday battles that we have to see. Yes, it's frustrating. And I don't deny that it is frustrating. But then these are things that, are we cannot control. We cannot rather control anything, but we will just need to be strong enough to work around these changes. Wheel of Fortune is a Sagittarian energy for the most part, and I feel that's ninth house, right? Sagittarius is a mutable fire energy. It's all about changes, momentum, and things like that. And you are eighth house energy, Scorpio. You're intense water. So I feel that when the waters are deep, it can get a little bit intense. Temper that intensity, Scorpio, with uh, with the with the introspection. I feel that it's time to sit and reflect, take that pause, um, and yeah, that's all you need to do. I feel you just need to reflect on things and see how you can make them better, or how you can, mitigate it the next time, especially if it's in regards to some project failures or things like that. When the detour happens in our favor, then it's like a blessing, right? But sometimes, we have to be mindful and careful and accounting to unexpected detours that we have to take. This is a reforming and a rebounding moment for you, Scorpio. You can still think things through and plan better for your next project or your next venture. If this is in regards to any kind of investment, you can rethink how you invest next time for the next investment. Now, the only thing I feel that you need to be a little bit more flexible, because if things are shifting and changing, which I feel they are with the Cobra energy, then adapt to that. Be flexible enough, Don't allow these changes to get to you. Because otherwise you could be coming across as rude, as blunt, as stubborn, not flexible enough, not adaptable enough, not patient enough. So I feel that adapting to changes is going to be very vital for you. Because if you're resistant to changes, then it shows to people how stuck and rigid we are in our ways. So don't let these changes, get to you in any way. Below it says your cycles turn anew in destiny's patient dance. So yeah, just be patient with the process, Scorpio. Last time for today, Scorpio, you have is a message from the cosmos, and it says, stay present. That's where life happens. Absolutely. I feel this is more about being mindful. This is more about, staying grounded in the moment, because if you're going to deplete your energy just by thinking or living in the past or living in the future, it doesn't make any sense. Because here and now is where we can, enjoy the present moment. We get the clarity by being present. We live authentically by being present. And even the small, beautiful things that are surrounding us, we can enjoy them. We can savor them, savor the meals that we have, the activities that we do, the people that we are surrounded with. We can only savor that when we're living in the moment. Don't live in fear. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the future. There is no need to worry, because like I said, there are some fears that are engulfing you, but I feel that's all in your head, nothing real. Also, when we get lost in our dreams and our fantasies, it's a huge distraction. We don't listen to people. We don't see things that we need to say with good understanding. Daydreaming really doesn't serve a purpose, because we could be daydreaming negative things, especially in the heat of the moment. Negative thoughts can come to us, misaligned thoughts. And when we're brooding, when we're thinking about all those negative experiences, we miss out on opportunities that are lingering around us. So you might miss out on certain things if you don't stay present, Scorpio. And if you feel that you're drifting away, then you can just try ground your energies. You can use some crystals. Like there's so many, tiger's eyes there, red jasper is there, black obsidian is good, quartz is good. So try. If you believe in the power of crystals, you can hold that in your palm, take a few deep breaths, and ground your energies. While it's very essential for us to feel the fields, so that we can be more aware of what we're feeling, why we're feeling. We can shift those up. We can transmute those energies. Use stress, you can try some stress buster ideas that you have, or there are stress relief balls that are available. There's meditation, there is journaling, whatever helps you calm down, whatever helps you release any kind of negative energy will come in handy for you at this point in time. To lighten up the mood, listen to a song by Beatles. It's called Here Comes the Sun. It's a beautiful song that will, that will shift up your mood and energies. It's all about bringing joy, living in the moment. Here Comes the Sun. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. Now, some of you, are at a risk of missing some kind of deadline, some kind of announcement, some kind of, especially if you're traveling, you might miss a train or bus if you're not fully living in the present. Sometimes the buses come there for a second. If you're lost in your thoughts or lost, distracted, you might miss some bus or some train if you're not paying attention to where you are. So be mindful and live in the present. In the olden times, not too far ago, like a decade back, 10 years, 15 years back, people used to, especially the home buyers, they used to choose homes thinking about their futuristic needs. They used to plan families even at the time of buying home, like, okay, we're going to have a room for these many kids and this, that, and the third. But nowadays, they're more like purchasing homes mindfully, like, do we need this space? Do we need this big house? So I feel that there is a shift, and mindful living is something which is, being at the topmost advocacy pursuits and missions these days. Especially in a lot of wellness. What do you call it? Wellness conferences, wellness summits, and things like that. Mindfulness, awareness, and living in the present moment has been emphasized over and over again. Now, if you're in high-profile positions in the politics, or in, you're on the stage, or you're, participating in some sports, you're playing for your team, you're singing, you're creating music, you have to be present. How can you create something? How can you win a game? How can you strategically, lead? Or even in the policies, when you're on camera, how can you be lost in thoughts, So it's very important that we train our mind and, train that muscle to be more present at all given time, so that we are more engaged in the interactions. And, it also impacts our health. It helps us stay calm. It helps us stay, focused. It helps us think rationally. It helps us, it just helps us think rationally and stay calm and, in the moment. So now, further down over here, it says, life blooms in the eternal now. Anchor there, and cosmos whispers its secrets. So, Scorpio, those were your messages, and hope you enjoyed them. So, thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.